Welcome to Out of Spec Reviews. We have a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo prototype. It's almost complete. Looks really cool. You guys know I love fast wagons. You can take this car, shred it, put your dogs in the back, and do everything you want with an electric car. Calvin's right with us too. Fucking love it. Finally, an EV station wagon, hatchback, whatever you want to call it. It's sort of the dream, I think. So let's go take it for our first drive, get it set up, see how it performs. Is it still a Porsche? You know, it sits a little higher, it's got some cladding, it's got a gravel mode. What does all this do and mean? Let's jump in the car and try it all out. Let's jump inside the front seat after experiencing the back. The doors open the same. Honestly, it feels exactly the same as the normal Taycan. In the front seat of the Taycan, talking about dimensions, headroom feels about the same. It feels increased a little bit, but honestly, all of the touch points, the controls, everything in here is identical to normal Taycan. If you're interested in that, we'll have some full in-depth videos. What we're talking about in this video really is the Cross Turismo, the back seat, the trunk. But there is one important difference up here, and that is this little button right over here. So Timon, take a look here, and you can see the addition of something called gravel. Now, there are a ton of different drive modes in the car that go from gravel, range, normal, sport, and sport plus. But that gravel mode is the new one for the Cross Turismo. Now, what I'm told is this will raise the suspension up. It will do some things to powertrain calibration, to stability control calibration, and it's optimized for dirt road rallying. I think it's so cool, and I can't wait to get one of these things on dirt and rally it. Now, we'll certainly do that in the future. This is just our first impressions of the car, our first drive, more or less. We only have it for a very short period of time. We won't be testing out the full functionality of gravel. But I think we should at least drive in it and see how the car performs, at least on the pavement, in gravel mode. So let's jump in. We'll go for a drive, see if this drives any differently than the normal Taycan that we're very familiar with, and see what it's like. There is a ton of cargo room in here, definitely enough for some dogs. For sure, no question, even for their heads, because even though it looks like this comes down pretty far, in actuality, it still slopes down pretty aggressively right here at the end. It's kind of a squared off shape. Let me put the rear seats down. Let's see what that looks like. We're going to start here at the back end of the Taycan. Now, I've already shown you the Taycan, but I actually have the partition out of it now, so you can see just how much space you actually get. So come on in. What we're going to do is we're going to put the back seats down before we actually try the back seat room. The reason we're focusing so heavily on the back seat of the Taycan is this is where all of the difference is. So first thing I'm noticing off the bat, completely flat. Running around to the other side, let me lower the back seats. There's just a little latch right here on the backrest that I can pull in and fold down. Very similar to most cars, very easy. So now, oh my goodness, you have yourself tons of room. Easily sleep back there. I mean, should we try that? Should I get in there? Let's give it a go. So I'm 6'1", just for reference. Sorry you have to witness this. And I can easily lay completely flat in the back of a Taycan Cross Turismo. Wow, the fact that we just drove up here in some of these California canyons and it handles like a true sports car, and you can haul that much stuff. You can haul me in the back of this thing. That's pretty impressive. Not only can you haul me in the back of this thing, let me close the trunk here because we know that that's impressively large. You have roof rails, so you can put some boxes on the top. Now that of course will affect range a little bit, but I've tested some roof boxes and they're actually not as bad as most people would think in terms of EV range. And then come take a look in the back seats. Plenty of room as well. I'm gonna jump in on the other side and show you what that's all about. And okay, One of the best parts about Taycan is they've designed the battery pack with these little holes and indentations for your feet to go. It's scalloping out the pack. So my legs sit really low, which means my knee angle and hip angle is really relaxed. You also have a screen back here where I can adjust heated seats and temperature, which is really nice. So you can go like auto on 68, for example. I can move where I want the air to go. I can say where I want to go. Do I want it to be? I mean, there's just so many options. And we'll save that for another day in a full review. But the glass roof in here is really a big story. It goes all the way up behind my head. I'm not sure if you can see that in here, but take a look at how far back that goes. Truly insane just how far back that roof goes. And then of course we have, just like the normal Taycan, an armrest here in the middle. Now in the normal Taycan, and I keep saying the normal because I think it's a sedan, there's no nomenclature for it, just the Taycan. There is very little headroom in the back, and what you end up doing is having to slide forwards, spread your legs around the seat in front of you, and then keep your head lower so you're not hitting the roof. Here in the back, I can stretch all the way up. If you come in a little bit closer, you could probably see I can come all the way up and I'm not even touching the roof at all. Seriously, a much more pleasant place to be, and no downsides on the driving dynamic side, and you even get gravel mode, so it's a little bit softer on the road. It still tears up a back road. I'm really not seeing any downside here, guys. Now, we don't know the pricing. If this is 40 grand more than the normal one, then I probably would say that's a lot of money, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be worth, it might even be cheaper. We don't know. We do not know pricing. So, but off first glance, why would you get the normal one? Get the wagon. It looks better too. I know that's subjective, but I think this looks 10 times better than the normal Taycan. Take a look at the outside. Here on the outside of the Taycan, let me take you on a little tour. You have these beautiful headlights that are on the normal one, crazy bright headlights. This particular one has Porsche's InnoDrive. So down here in the front bumper, you'll notice a little cone here, and that is your adaptive cruise control radar as well as active steering. Does a really nice job of getting you down the highway. This one also has another little sensor right there, and that's for your night vision. So you can drive around like James Bond in this thing with night vision. That is an optional extra, of course. So everything on here, this is not a US spec car, this is a European spec car, hence the German license plate here up front. This was just flown over from Germany. It still has some camouflaging, and by camouflaging I mean stickers with fake fog lights. I don't know if it'll have fog lights there. I mean, they would look cool, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Come around the side. On the side of the car, we have two charging ports. On this side, we just have our J1772 charging port, just like the normal Taycan. And this will do, I believe, 48 amp at 240 volt maximum. On the other side, we'll run out over here. You have the port that does all the work. Of course, on the top, you have your J1772 port, and same as the other side, but you also gain the CCS connector, the two pins at the bottom, and this will do up to 270 kilowatt charging, which is the fastest charging EV currently on sale. I know this one's not on sale, but the normal Taycan is. You also have a front trunk. Now there's a cool trick about the front trunk. Let me grab the keys and I will show you what it can do. Now Porsche's thought about so many tips and tricks about this car. It's really honestly pretty interesting. Let me make sure the car is off, because I believe it only works when the car is off. It will auto get off when you, or auto shut off when you leave the car after, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. But take a look at this. All you do is you come up to the front of the car, you hover your hand over the front bumper, didn't even touch it, and it pops the trunk. Again, my hand did not touch the key. Most Porsches with a front trunk have this. Now up here, come on in, you have a front trunk. So you can see it's very deep. You can put easily a carry-on on there. You have extra little cubbies for your roadside assistance gear, both sides. And this one being European spec, of course, you have the triangle. Closing the front trunk just like any Porsche, right on the Porsche badge. Push it down until it latches. Really cool. You know, Porsche's done their way and their take of making an electric car, and I think it's the right approach for them. Certainly it's not the right approach for everyone. You know, Tesla's really the big name when it comes to EVs right now, and they build really interesting techie cars that are very minimalist and easy to understand and learn. This is not that. This is fully adjustable. You get it exactly how you want it. It's bespoke, a million billion options for you to customize it in any which way. Personally, I'd have mine in a dark forest green with bronze wheels. I think that would look really nice. This particular one is on some 20-inch wheels with carbon ceramics hiding behind them. The braking power is truly insane. This one also has some extra design trim here on the side, some body cladding as well. We're not sure if this will make it to production or if it'll be an optional extra. It's just hard to say, but at least this particular one has it. And I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan. It traps a lot of dirt in everywhere. I opened up this door before and we were sliding this around on rocks and dirt for another video, and just rocks started pouring straight out of it. But it looks, you know, from a styling perspective, you tell instantly this is a Porsche. It has a flair of the Porsche Panamera wagon sense to it, but this is cooler, I think. You can definitely tell it's a little sharper, it's electrified, it's kind of everything you want in a wagon. So what do we have here? We're not sure what trims that this car will be offered in, whether it'll be 4S, Turbo, Turbo S, or a rear-wheel drive variant. We know those are all options. We're not sure what's coming here. We don't know range. We can guess somewhere in that low 200-mile EPA range based on the other versions, but it will do more than that, I promise you. And we don't know pricing. We don't really know much about the car other than this will be coming at some point. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this car in the comments. Would you go for the Taycan Sport Turismo, sorry, Cross Turismo, this one, or would you go for the Taycan sedan? Personally, this all day long for me. Love this, absolutely. And really enjoyed showing you this car. A quick glimpse into what Porsche is working on and what we might be seeing on the streets here in the United States in maybe just a few months. All right, we're inside the Taycan Cross Turismo. It says tire change detected. Again, this is a pre-production prototype car. It means not everything is set up exactly how we want, but we do need to talk about some things. I can't tell you what version of Taycan this is. I imagine you can guess based off of how it's going to drive. And we have rear steer, we have carbon ceramics, and we have Porsche dynamic chassis control. So it's got all the sporty options on it. So it's a Porsche. I know we're going to do other videos where we, you know, rally this car on gravel. Oh, it's going to be a freaking blast. But we're on a fantastic road here in California, and we're going to see what it's like when we drive, you know, 6-7 tenths. Does it retain a lot of the Taycan's qualities of being a performance-oriented vehicle? Is it truly just extra space, or did they squish it down a little bit? So we're going to go instantly into Sport Plus. That will actively heat up the battery pack, stiffen up the dampers, and lower the car all the way. It will also change some powertrain calibration to handle rear wheel power a little bit more, as well as some dynamic chassis control stuff where it will prioritize less roll. We're going to run chassis height all the way down, brake recuperation on, and the silly electric sport sound off. That is not accurate. So we're going to run climate control at 70, something like this. Everything's set up the way we want to go, and we are off. So let's go do it. We have my driver's door open. Now we are closed. Into Sport Plus. We have some bicyclists on this road. We have some people spotting, like prototype spotting. It's kind of cool to be in the prototype. So here we go, up the road. First off, really quiet in here, just like a Taycan. All of the qualities of Taycan remain. My seating position feels the same as the regular sedan version. And I think if you were to look at you know, what a normal Taycan would feel like, it feels good. I would say there is definitely a little bit more headroom. I also feel like my seating position is a little bit higher up. So here we go, just to see how she drives. And just freaking cruising this Sport Turismo, Cross Turismo, sorry. I keep wanting to call it a Sport Turismo, I'm not sure why. It is a Cross Turismo. And it's got rear steer, so it helps get the back end around pretty nicely, which is good. And wow, what a freaking road we are on, friends. Absolutely gorgeous here in Malibu. The speeds are good. The handling feels pretty nice. It feels almost the same as the regular Porsche, the regular Taycan. I mean, I would say I almost feel no difference. It's quiet. It gets in and out of corners really well. It's really utilizing that front motor nicely, which is fantastic. Absolutely love it. And you know, we have just a short time with it, but is it a Porsche? The answer is Holy crap, absolutely. Is it a little softer than the normal Taycan? Yes, I would say it feels a little bit more compliant, even with the dampers in full stiff. You have to forgive all the camera gear flying around the back. But it's really freaking nice, guys. Really freaking nice. Man, does it move too when you really get on it. Hunkers down, shoots off like a cannon. The turn-in is most impressive, especially with the rear steer angling the car around the corners. That is really cool. You know, I've been driving a Taycan 4S for thousands of miles now, and it does not have rear steer. This thing freaking rocks. Yes, it does. What a ripper. Hell yeah. Love it. This is the car to buy if you want to put your dogs in the back, put your family in it, go on a skiing trip, go rally racing on the side. This is a freaking machine. Hell yes. Okay, so cross Turismo, backseat room. You'll have to check out our Inside EVs full walk around where I show you all of the changes. Basically the rear hatch, the rear seat headroom, and all of the extra space. Makes a world of difference. Personally, wouldn't even consider the sedan Taycan. This is the one to buy. It looks better, it's more practical, and you know what? The handling, just as good. Absolutely love it. Hunkers down and rips. I know it's a short video, but it was a short, fun road. And this is the Taycan to buy, friends. Don't worry about the price. Everyone says price and range. Range is really good. You'll see by the time this video goes out, we broke the electric cannonball run record in the Taycan, cruising at very high speeds, charger to charger. It's the fastest road tripping EV on sale today. We've proven this by breaking our Tesla record. I held the previous record, broke it with the Taycan. And the price, it's not bad. They'll have a rear wheel drive variant coming soon that starts well under $100,000. And I don't know about pricing on the Cross Turismo on this particular one, but I hope it's reasonable. Everything you get with the Taycan that's good is just better here. More space. Can't say enough good things about it. Porsche knows how to build a performance car. This is no exception. And yeah, really, really, really thrilled with this thing. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next quick drive here on Out of Spec Reviews.